Just gonna try and invite Morgan on now.
Few seconds, I'm coming. Can you see me?
No, just a black screen.
No.
Yes, I can see you now, yeah.
How are we?
Very good, yeah.
I'm
Looking good.
so sorry about keeping you waiting all the fucking time.
It's alright, I do the same thing.
I mean, we're both queens, so you know what it's like.
Yeah, we're never going to be on time.
I want to start off on a good note. How was your day at the beach or wherever you were at?
It was
Hi,
gorgeous.
Connor. Hi, Connor. Yeah.
It was absolutely gorgeous. It was just so nice to get my feet on the sand and just forget about all this shit.
Was that your flatmate that you were with?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
How was your day?
Yeah, not bad. I didn't get out of bed till 3:30. I was lazy today. I've been doing all my activism stuff and posts and looking into the Supreme Court, which we'll touch on, but yeah. So, oh, hi, honey, that's my friend. Hi, babe, you all right? Yeah, I was looking into the Supreme Court and stuff today, so.
Yeah, I got a couple of articles up actually. I didn't want to get like The Guardian or CNN, but I got a couple of other ones. Slate.com. Supreme Court, blessings of anti-LGBTQ discrimination will haunt gay couples. US Supreme Court of...
I just am so thankful that we're not American. Like, the way they persecute their own citizens, like, they literally want segregation back. Why? Can you believe it? If we were able to walk into a shop and, like, say if I wanted to buy a pride flag, I could just, like, not even walk into the shop full stop, same as you.
It's insane. Like, it's like, can they do that with any other marginalized group of people or any other minority?
And they'll say, oh, well, it's free, it's religious freedom. No, sorry. Don't open a business if you don't want money. Thank you. Thanks.
It's absolutely, and it's so insidious. It's like what you were saying before about the removal of the TQ from the LGBT is really insidious. It's just like this, insidious as fuck. It's like, it's just done to divide and to make people angry and to make people fight and to further progress towards civil war or something. Like, it's just, it's insane.
I mean, it's so hard to not be divided and conquered from these people, because I've seen posts on Twitter because I recently rejoined Twitter because I thought, okay, if you're going to fight the good fight, you go to the most toxic area and you suck that pus out. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, where's the most toxic place? To go to Twitter. And I've seen people saying, thank you for giving us our religious freedom back. Thank you for Christian equality and everything. And it's like, how are you oppressed making a cake for a gay couple, for example?
I haven't got words for it. I thought we were past that. You know, I really thought we were past all of this until like a few years before COVID, when a lot more LGBT stuff was getting pushed and it was getting really corporatized. I thought things were getting better. Like, I forgot about homophobia, and I've experienced homophobia over the last couple of years being part of this freedom movement like I haven't experienced in fucking years, some that I've never experienced in my life. Do you know what I mean? It's quite shocking.
Yeah. How do you feel being a gay person, no gays, no trans, hanging over the door then?
I'm just glad I'm not in that country. And I don't...
If I was there, I would have a business saying no Christians, for example, no evangelicals.
Well, that's what
you have to. But how can you run a society where you don't fucking cater to people based on what? That is not a functioning society. That is a collapsing society.
It is, and everyone's playing into it. Everyone's falling into it, and all of these conservatives are like, yay! And it's like, you're not even awake. You are not even awake at all. You're just a bunch of fucking QAnon retards that just like, and they are awake. A lot of people are awake by chance because a lot of this agenda is being used by, like, you know, far left kind of things being shoved in people's faces, and it's like, so, well, if the people on the right already don't like that kind of thing, it stands to reason that they're going to wake up first. But people like us, who come from more of a left background or a liberal place, we've done more work. We've actually done harder work because we've gone against our way of
Deprogram
thinking.
ourselves from the fucking matrix, because we have been like basically groomed to have a victim mentality by the fucking political elite.
Yeah, and we've had to go against our own people, sort of. Not really, but that's how it looks to people. And now, because we've been there and we've seen the other side, and then we've gone back to the other side, we've seen both sides, and a lot of people haven't. Do you know what I mean? They're just there by chance. Like, they haven't done the work.
I just can't believe it. I just can't believe it. And any society that thinks that that's, do you know what? It's not even just the pure discrimination. It's like, it goes into so much shit. It goes into the economy and everything. Like, if you start having like, I'm not serving you, I'm not serving you. I don't understand how you can run a business like that.
I don't understand how people are now things like, you know, about protecting the kids. It's just about the kids. We don't care about we want trans people can do what they want as long as it's not
protecting the kids, hanging the no gay sign on the fucking door.
So they pass these laws that are extremely against the adults as well, and then what do you hear from those same people? Fucking crickets. Because it doesn't
I
affect
don't think
them.
they
So
realise though that now you can hang a no Christians outside your door and stuff. Like, what a toxic precedent to set. Anyway, I've said all I need to say about America. It's just, I'm not even shocked by it anymore.
so
It's like
hashtag
the
it.
European. Pardon?
Hashtag it was never about the kids.
Never. And I noticed gays against groomers have been silent on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is what's annoying me so much. They're saying that you know, they like would stick up for their own kind and their own people and everything, their own community. But then look what's happening in silence, and it's like, are you even part of our community? Who are you people? Who are they really? You know, I've talked about this before about the people that go to these protests and cause this division by, you know, being in these protests and doing appropriate things, and those people chanting, "We're coming for your children." Like, how much do they look
Who
like?
are they? Who the fuck are those women? I've never seen them before. Why has no one found out or researched who they are?
Why does no one ever
To answer the question, what do I think about the UK? I think the Tories are using LGBT as an election issue because the economy's fact, the councils are fact, the floors are fact, the roads are fact, the NHS is fact. They all got caught out during the COVID hoax getting pissed. I mean, I could just go on and on and on and on and on. It's just a culture war issue to win the election.
And there's so much better things that we could be talking about, and so many better things we could be posting, sharing. Scroll through your social media and you see the same shit all the time, and it's just
I just think it was never about the fucking kids, and anyone that says they're protecting the kids now can piss off because there's literally segregation in America. Like, are you joking? Sorry, there's fireworks outside my house. Can you hear them? Oh my god, it sounds like the Ukraine. Oh my god.
yeah, basically throwing us under the bus because we're collateral damage to a lot of people. You know, I've actually had a guy say that, collateral damage. You know, that they're gay.
Oh, I know all about the Pope.
It's just
Yeah.
like,
I'll let you. Do you want to go through your list then? Because I had to get the Supreme Court out of the way.
yeah, I'm trying to read it. There's a lot of you've already
How is
mentioned.
everybody tonight? Is everyone all right?
Ukraine. Any news on Ukraine? Any opinions about Ukraine, the developments there at all?
I've never looked into it all. I've never give a shit, to be quite honest with you. I just don't care. They're using that to, but they're using the Ukraine to do the West's agenda of raising everything to create a manufactured cost of living, so that then we own nothing and we're happy. That's what I think.
Yeah. Spot on. Good answer. I was just thinking people aren't awake enough to understand the hidden hand and how it works. So I was talking to some, I posted this, one of the posts I made about like nobody's talking about who it really is. It's not the gay community and it's not the LGBT community, it's the Freemasons and all the rest of it. And someone commented saying, you know, it's hard to get into that conversation with people because it gets too weird and everything. But I'm thinking, but a lot of those people that you're talking about, I believe that, you know, that the elites eat babies. So why would that be too far-fetched for them to talk about
Oh,
that?
my
Or
friend
to get,
Kim. Hey, Kim. I told my friend Kim and my other friend Goddess about all the fucking satanic shit. Oh yeah. I remember my friend Kim will know this. At the start of the lockdowns, I said that they were going to do the vaccines and try and put the vaccine passport out and everything. It was fucking crazy, and that all just vanished into thin air, didn't it?
yeah, I knew that was going to happen. I knew that years ago. I just had this feeling that I thought when the New World Order comes, it's going to involve some kind of vaccine that everyone's going to have to take. It's going to be like to do with the flu or something like that. And I just hoped it wouldn't be in my lifetime or it would be in a lot later. And then it happened, like in 2020. So that's why I started straight away.
Well, they did the whole vaccine shit, didn't they? And they tested it out, and now they're doing the whole Britcoin, which is the cashless shit, and they're trying to do the 15-minute cities, aren't they? In Oxford, I think it was. What do you think about the Paris race war thing going on?
Have you seen what's just been happening recently? Well, it sounded like you were in
A
Paris
riot.
earlier. Works. But
Facts
yeah,
in
it's
that. Facts.
like from what I can see.
Yeah.
But hard to know. You just see all this footage from what's happening in different countries, and then you compare it to what's happening in our country, and you see what's happening in America, and you just don't know what's even fucking real anymore. You know, it's just crazy.
Well, that's it. You don't know what's fucking real.
What do you think about
You don't
that
know
Mel?
what's real.
I posted about Mel Gibson releasing a documentary that he was involved in this documentary about a week ago, and it got fact checked and blocked, so you couldn't even see it. And it said all about how his publicist denies that he's doing this documentary and it's a conspiracy theory. And now he's released a video where it's him saying it, and I even said it might be a deep fake, but it doesn't look like it to me. And now everyone's sharing it. So just further proof that fact checkers like Reuters are complete liars, and you can show the average person that they're liars, and they'll still just be like, meh, because they're not interested in the whole bigger agenda of what's going on. Because they're too busy with their bread and circuses. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking shit, man. It's fucking shit. I'm sick of talking about the fucking drag queen shit and all the Chinese stuff. Like, there's so much bigger shit going on.
not just over Pride Month, but over the last few months, just trans this, trans, fucking trans, fucking trans. Fucking sick of hearing it. I am sick of fucking hearing LGBTQ and trans and just all those words, gay, fucking, I'm sick of it all. I'm fucking sick of these words.
Don't you think the Tories are going to flood the country now? Because this is what I said to my friend Kim. I'm not sure she's still watching, but I said, because she sent me a video, don't you think they're going to flood the country full of immigrants, roll them up, do a false flag thing, and then make that an election issue to take us out of the European Court of Human Rights to then make it fucking totalitarian? Like, I cannot believe there's going to be a referendum on human rights in this country. That is bad.
Change the culture of our country so much that, like, you know, people with liberal kind of minds are outnumbered. Then if they start bringing in these laws like what they're bringing in now and making it even worse against LGBT and all the rest of it, and start doing it everything else, how many people are going to be there to oppose it left? How many of us are going to still be alive after certain injectables have done their work? Do you know what I mean? We're talking about in a few years here, because this is a long plan, remember? Like, I believe what you're saying is entirely possible.
So what was the other things you wanted to cover on this live then? Because I didn't write it down.
Yeah, just that people aren't awake enough, and it's too difficult to talk about the bigger. It's really difficult to talk about what's going on with the LGBT agenda without people questioning, well, why? Who's behind that? And then if you try to explain that, we're going into weird territory, aren't we? So, and it's too much for a lot of people. And then some people would even say, you're best off not talking about that because you're going to scare people away. But I find that really hard, because I feel like I should just be able to talk about whatever I want. You know what I mean? Just unfiltered. It's really irritating and that I have to apologise for people because they're not awake enough. After 3 years of what we've been through, people should be awake to a lot more by now. If we've all had enough time to sit and watch Fall of the Cabal and fucking, what's you call the other one? I don't know, there's a few. You've got time to sit and watch like the other ones, you know, about the other stuff.
God, you are stoned, aren't you? You are stoned. Yeah, I know what you mean. You're just pissed off that more people don't realise that there's all this shit going on is manufactured.
Yeah, and that's why those people are susceptible to being controlled by these psyops that pull people to the left and to the right and to the left and to the right. If they understood more about how that all works, they could break out of that whole system and realise that the very concept of left and right is splitting our consciousness in half, and they're making people choose a half.
Do you think I always thought it was fucked even before I looked into all this, that there's only two parties, because if you don't like what one's doing, you go to the other. That's not an option. That is literally just like so easy to play them off against each other. It's just like all this stuff's coming to the light. They fucking hate TikTok and stuff like that, where people can look into all this shit, and that's why they want to ban it. I think the biggest fuck up was them giving us the internet, but then at the same time they need us in this technocratic prison where it's all cashless and we're monitored and fucking vaccine passports this and QR codes that. Do you know what I mean?
But is that going to be the whole world? Is it going to be every country, or is it just
well, they want
China,
certain countries? Don't they? China's the blueprint. They want us like China.
Yeah, there'll be certain countries and certain islands where elites can go to that'll be completely different and free and stuff, and the rest of us minions will have to live in these, like, you know, this surveillance capitalism future. But it's funny that you mentioned about TikTok and about how people are using it to spread truth now. Because when you look at other influencers, like on YouTube, even the ones that are like on our side, they're always slagging off TikTok and they're always talking about how toxic it is and how dangerous it is. To me, I mean, I'm not on it, but to me, it's just another app, the same as Facebook or Instagram or anything else. Maybe they're trying to put people off going on it because they don't want people to know that there's more truth on TikTok right now than anywhere else.
TikTok's a Chinese app, so they are amplifying the crazy fuckers on TikTok, aren't they? They're amplifying those crazy teachers you see, like, there's 100 genders, you know, they're amplifying that. Meanwhile, they're suppressing the actual information that people need to know about, like, you know, I don't know, elite how every fucking pedo ring goes up to the elite, or how Ghislaine Maxwell is now in prison for sex trafficking children with Jeffrey Epstein, but to who? To who? No one's talking about that anymore. Who's she guilty of sex trafficking them to? How can you go to prison for 20 years and not be like, who are the customers? Do you know what I mean?
Did you hear about JP Morgan, how he was ordered to release emails between him and Jeffrey Epstein recently, and he accidentally deleted, like, I don't know what the number was, but it was millions of emails to him was just deleted. No one's talking. Because he talking about trans.
But let's talk about trannies still, yeah. Let's talk about trannies still, yeah. It's fucked up. It's fucked up, the bigger perspective. And don't get me wrong, I've always said there's a nuanced debate to be had about trans people and the fucking shit that goes along with it. But do you know what I mean? Let's fucking get a perspective here. It's 1% of the public.
It's ridiculous.
Isn't it? Isn't it?
So what was London?
I can go. I'm not from London. I just know that there was like nearly 2 million people there. So there was obviously a religious counter protest, but that was only a few thousand. Yeah.
Interesting to see how much footage comes out of the London Pride, to see if they're as bad as what we've seen from America.
I was thinking tomorrow, will there be videos of, who knows, undercover fucking evangelicals there naked, or you just don't know. You just don't know. And then you think, well, I don't know. I don't even know what to say about it anymore. I've said it all to death.
After the stories I was sharing on that video of all the that I got from Right Wing Watch about all the right wing people that had been caught doing paedophilia, and which was a fucking horrible video to make, by the way. I know I looked like I was mocking it, but after I filmed it, it made us feel like really horrible to have to say all that out loud, all the crimes. But like after reading all of that, I thought, well, it's not. I totally believe that they dress up as drag queens and pretend to be like, absolutely. Do you know what I mean? If there's plenty of right wing fascist guys out there that are doing that, of course there could be.
Well, I looked into this group in America as well. It's always fucking America. They're called Mums for Liberty. They're really insidious. Have you heard of them? They talk about they're like book burning, and they quoted Hitler on one of their fucking pages. They quoted Hitler.
What do you think about the book thing, though? Because, and I only ask this, right, because I've seen some of the things that are in some of the books, right, and some of them are pretty bad. Like, do you know what I mean? In my opinion, like, I wouldn't want kids to see that. Do you know what I mean? Where it's like cartoons of kids sucking each other off and stuff. Like, like that doesn't sit right with me at all. Do you know what I mean? What's your opinion on that?
It doesn't sit right with me either. But I think. Yeah, I think that, don't forget, they always like to say about how paedophiles and stuff created parts of the LGBT movement, and the man that came up with the word cisgender was a paedophile. Don't forget, in the 50s and 60s, being trans and gay was viewed as the same as paedophilia. So of course paedophiles have infiltrated, and just like they've infiltrated the churches and everything else. I'm not surprised that there are paedophiles linked to the origins of the modern LGBT movement when we were all lumped in together in the 50s. Of course that's going to be the fucking case.
You can find that old commercial, that old commercial from the 50s about like kids being safe and stuff and not to talk to strangers. And it was like, they didn't see the guy who was on the park and he's a homosexual pedophile. And I'll send you it. But like, it's this famous one from the 50s where it's like really homophobic, but it was totally normal at the time to say that kind of thing. And that's what people thought. Do you know what I mean? So I guess when you put the time era in it, you've got to take that into perspective as well. I think how they might play it, though, is that they release all of these LGBT books to educate kids. And do you think how they might play it is they might put a couple of books in there that are inappropriate amongst the rest of the books that are fine, and the ones that are inappropriate get all the media attention, and then because of that, that's what gets everything banned, and that's how it works on a larger scale as well. You know what I mean?
I just try and compare it to how they did BLM, and how they did BLM was the him killing, what was his name? Fuck, what was the guy's name that got killed?
Floyd.
George Floyd, yeah. There were so many occult symbols around that. Like there was a fire hydrant with 666 on it. You never heard about that Chevron guy again, did you? The guy that killed him. Like you don't hear about him anymore. And then George Floyd's brother, there's pictures of him full on Freemason with the pinny on, the apron thing that they wear. I just think, well, that was infiltrated, so why couldn't they do the same? They need to divide the people in the West, play them against each other to implement the New World Order. That's the only way you can break down the West.
And Andrew Tate's a good example of that as well, isn't he? There's a lot of Illuminati.
Yeah.
I can't believe he's on Big Brother. I didn't realise. Like I googled it and I was looking at pictures of him when he was in Brother. I was like,
Savile was on Big Brother, wasn't he?
Who?
Jimmy Savile went on Big Brother.
Oh shit! Yeah, he did. I
Yeah.
stopped watching at certain points.
And fucking, oh god, there was another pedo one that went on Big Brother. It wasn't Rolf Harris, was there?
Probably.
Probably, yeah. Who knows?
If they've been knighted, then definitely. That's another thing. If they've been knighted.
Actually, this is a good question for you, right? Who do you think, celebrity-wise, is 100% Illuminati?
Oh.
So I'll go first. Lady Gaga, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Drake, Hillary Clinton, Miley Cyrus for me, Angelina Jolie, There's so many. There's so many.
You've said them all. Like, did you say Madonna?
Oh yeah, of course her.
Tell me about
Yeah,
that as
Elton
well.
John, I think, is one of them.
Do you think they've always been in it, or do you think there's a certain point in their career
I
where they
think
get asked and then
there
they change?
must be a family. I think that these weirdos, there has to be an underground in this country. Like I remember the Hampstead Heath thing where everyone was in on it with those two kids. There has to be. I think any town that's got a Freemason hall, there has to be some kind of occultic thing going on in each town, especially in the UK because Freemasonry was born here. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
we have a huge one in Sunderland, massive temple. We've got a few. We've got one of the oldest ones
Do
in the
I
world in
believe
Sunderland.
in the Illuminati? I think it's a conspiracy theory. Yeah, 100%. The Bavarian Illuminati is actually confirmed on Google. Alexa, was the Illuminati real?
The Illuminati has referred to many fictitious and rumored secret societies over the last 2 centuries. The first historical reference is to the Bavarian Illuminati, created in 1776 by Adam Weishaupt in Bavaria, now Germany. Although referenced in many novels, TV, video games and media, there is no substantiated evidence of the secret society existing today.
Okay, thanks, Alexa. I mean, I don't know why it would just suddenly go away. It's like when the Nazis lost World War II. Do you think all the people that supported the Nazis, just all the citizens and everything, you know, all those huge fucking crowds of millions of people, do you think they just suddenly stopped believing in Nazism overnight? Of course they fucking didn't. And I think it's the same with secret societies.
Yeah, and then if you look at all the people from, that era who moved over to NASA and started working for
Werner
NASA,
von Braun, I know, I know. And all the
like,
ones that went to South America as well.
I think the Illuminati might be one of them kind of straw men to burn, where it's like they might not call
I think
themselves
they're more
that.
of an older thing now. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I just call those celebrities Illuminati because it's easier than saying
They're just puppets of the elites.
Jesuits or whatever the fuck they are. Like, yeah.
The music industry is part of that whole MK Ultra psyop, so it's just like a wing of their mind control. It's a big wing. It's a big part of mind control. But obviously the celebrities and stuff are really important because they're the demigods of this world. You know what I mean? People used to worship statues of Aphrodite and stuff like that, and now we have celebrities. We call them stars, as if they're like celestial bodies,
Well, that
but on Earth.
to me, and I hate to use religious terminology, but it's fitting. It's idolatry, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the same thing, but it's like an inversion of idolatry. So they subvert these archetypes rather than revere them and give them make them worthy of worship. They subvert them, into
Yeah.
themselves. Absolutely.
Did you have
So,
anyone that you wanted to invite in?
I don't know if they're still here, but I'm gonna see.
Connor or anyone? Did you want to come on?
I was just gonna say, but we've already kind of discussed it as well. Just that they're using this whole "it's all about the children" thing to push these policies through. The policy that's just been pushed through, they can push whatever policies they want through, can't they? After that, because then they can always use the same. I'd like to call it. I would call it Helen Lovejoy syndrome. You know Helen Lovejoy of The Simpsons. She'd always
Oh
like
yeah,
say,
yeah, yeah.
"Think of the children." It's like Helen Lovejoy. Totally hashtag
I notice we're
Helen.
not saving the children from the priests anytime soon, though, are we?
I don't think anybody else wants to come on, but I can't think what else to talk about right now. But
Yeah, you definitely shouldn't get stoned before we do this again.
I've talked about loads of stuff. I've asked you loads of questions. I've had a whole list of things.
All right, what
I think I've done.
do you think is going to happen with Andrew Tate's trial? I think they're going to blow that shit up like they did with Johnny Depp and all that.
I thought he was already convicted.
He's been charged, but Does that mean he's already? I don't know how it works in Romania. If he's been charged, does that mean he's been on trial?
Maybe the plan's to send him to prison so that he can become more of a god in the eyes of these incels that worship him, so they can be more like free Andrew Tate and shit. It'll be too easy to let him out, you know what I mean? It won't create more of a culture war if they lock him up because it'll make people angry.
All right, let me ask you, how do you think these weirdos like George Soros and Jacob Rothschild and all them, how do you think they stay alive for so long? Do you think they've suppressed technology back from us?
Yeah, definitely.
I also
But I don't think
that their estates and stuff have been told don't chemtrail our airspace and stuff like that, and they've got their own water supply, everything that's organic. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. It's crazy because a lot of people, there's ways and means to do that in a natural way and do it in harmony with the earth and everything. And, you know, I'm learning a lot of that kind of natural path kind of way. But the elite seem to like hate that, and they seem to look for alternative ways of longevity, and they draw it from like a negative source, a negative energy. Maybe it's because they have to. Maybe it's just because they're negative, and that's why they have to draw it from these negative places. Do you know what I mean? Like using blood and stuff like that. So, and we know the celebrities do that. That's I say is we know that, like, what you call that, Sandra Bullock, like that on Ellen, that they use baby's blood to make them young. That's no secret. Do you know what I mean? So they definitely use that. I don't know how it goes, you know, but you know that like traffic organs on the black market.
Your microphone's going a bit weird.
Sorry?
Your microphone was going a bit weird then.
Did you hear anything I said?
About adrenochrome.
Yeah.
I don't know what to think about QAnon anymore. It was I always kind of knew it was a psyop, but I think there must have been bits of truth in it.
Thing is, though, that didn't come from QAnon. People were talking about adrenochrome long before QAnon was a thing, and even before that, like it was referenced. I think even Aldous Huxley referenced it in his book, The Doors of Perception. So it's been known for like a long time. And I just think QAnon used a lot of truths and then masked them with a lot of bullshit to create their own psyop, so they could steer the truth movement in a certain direction and control people's awakening and direct it in a certain, to cut a lot of people out of it. Like,
where do you think it's going? Like, what do you think is going to happen in 5 years? Where do you think we'll be? Because all the agendas are for 2030, aren't they? That's what they're all pushing for.
I don't know, because everything's happening so slowly right now. It's like I can't predict. When we were going through COVID, it was kind of like we knew that it was prolonged, and we knew that this was coming and that was coming because it was coming every day, and there was crazy shit in the news all the time. And now it's just like LGBT bullshit and the distractions. We're all just guessing like what's really going on, and like is the truth going to come out? And I think everyone's getting really frustrated. So I don't know. I think that if they bring the digital currency in, we're going to have to like get together and do something. And like I don't know what we would do though. Just I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea where we'll be in 5 years. Sorry. Where do you think we'll be in 5 years?
I don't think it looks good.
Because it's just like we don't know what's going to happen next week.
I don't
crazy.
think it looks good. I'll say that much. I think it's going to be. I think all the digital stuff's going to be pretty much done by then. I think they're going to make the Ukraine or something like that a World War III situation. And while they do that, they're going to get all the technocratic prison set up around us. That's what I can see happening.
Yeah. And then people are going to have a choice to either really wake up or be terrified and be cowards and stay asleep. And that's really going to divide people. We might get more people on our side, though.
Would you
but I don't know what we're all
would you ever accept living in the New World Order?
It depends what it. I don't know. I couldn't probably because if it would involve getting them, and that's just a no absolutely for me, and that's what it would. That's what it will entail. So there's no way that the New World Order would not require that, and because I know that it would require that, no.
But you won't be able to escape. That's the thing.
They get under your skin. Once the government has gotten under your skin, where else can they go? They've already gone under your skin. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think we've covered a lot. Have you got anything else you want to add?
Not really, no. But it's been really good. We've talked about a lot of stuff. We need to do more, but just try and think of different topics each time. Maybe try and get somebody else to come on.
We need to go more in depth on one topic next time because we do kind of fucking ping pong all over the place, don't we?
Yeah, but it's all right. It sort of flows in its own.
And we need to get more guests on.
Yeah, that's what we need. We need people to be brave enough to come on and talk. You know. Because
yeah, I hear what you're saying, sodomite.
There's nobody else with like no LGBT that are really talking about what we're talking about, is there anywhere really?
It's really difficult because you're still considered a conspiracy theorist. You're too tranny for the right. You're too right for the left. You know, it's just shit. You can't win.
And they all talk about how left and right are shit, and you know we need to find harmony and stuff. And it's like, what, the middle? You mean like where we are?
I just hate being viewed as a monolith. Oh, you're trans, so you must agree with everything that trannies say and do. Oh, you want blah blah blah. You want this. You want that. I'm an individual. I'm not a monolith.
I hate that. I hate that. It's like some of the arseholes that we've gotten shit off on Instagram. That's the kind of shit they say where they just assume
it's
so
always
much.
Weirdo American religious freaks.
Yeah.
For me, anyway. Always. Always.
Look at how then turn out to be Romans according to them stories that I've been reading out.
You know, meanwhile, they go to church every Sunday and they're fucking priests raping their own children. That's the fucked thing. It's not non-religious children being raped by the priest. It's religious children. They're literally having their own children raped while gaslighting us. It's so fucked.
And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether people believe that LGBT or drag queens are doing this, or it's the priests. The truth is, it's the elites that are doing it, and they're getting away with it, and they're getting away with trafficking them all, fucking all over the world. And that's the big issue that they're gaslighting everybody with. Absolutely. People just need to be better. People need to stop falling into these traps of like these pseudo rabbit holes, these traps of like distractions. I think it's just because people are bored. You know, people are just like, we've been in this fight for 3 years. We've done a lot of protesting and stuff, and now there's not as much of that going on anymore, and everyone's just getting sucked into social media. You know, and it's like.
Well, they've pulled down, haven't they, on the agenda stuff? They're trying to do the social collapse a bit more now, aren't they? They're trying to culture divide.
Yeah, we just have to hope we can get through it. Like,
I think in this country it's going to be not so much as now. I think it was heavy for us this month, particularly because of Pride Month. But I think the main thing they're going to run with is the immigrant thing.
Yeah, I think we're going to see some big problems with that.
Oh, I do too. I mean, there's already monocultures in this country. There's already some areas that are Asian. You know, they own that now. It is what it is. It's monocultures. And when you have monocultures in a society, you can get a crisis actor to go there, fuck someone up from that minority or whatever, and then play them off against each other. Look at France right now.
Yeah, and how much of that can progress in a few weeks or a month or in a few years or in a generation, you know?
Yeah.
It'll just completely change the structure and fabric of our society and our culture, everybody's culture all over the world, and it'll just create the chaos that they want. So the people will beg for the solution, problem, reaction, solution. And then they'll be like, oh yeah, everything's shit, isn't it? Well, we can make it better. Just sign up for our new world order fucking digital prison.
I hear what you're saying. Right, I think we should go. We've covered it all. It was nice to catch up with you. Should we do one again next week?
Definitely next week. Not sure what day yet, but Friday or Saturday or something.
Trenny kisses to you. Say hi to your flatmate.
Will do. See you later.
And remember, just remember, honey, I'm platinum.
And I'm gold.
And you're gold star. All right, darling.
See you there.